And we are li- and we are live. And we are alive. And Merry Christmas to everybody. And Merry Christmas to you, everybody. And Merry Christmas, everybody. Hope of Santa has been. Hope everybody has been good for Santa. Hope everybody's having a good Christmas this year. Or at least I am. Hope everybody's having a good, safe Christmas this year. Hey, Sally. Merry Christmas. Hope it. Yeah, it was nice meeting you on Saturday at Bamberg. Yeah, it was nice seeing you on Saturday. Last Saturday. Well, hopefully we'll probably see. Hopefully we might see. I might see you again sometime soon. Hopefully, not sure when, but hopefully. But hopefully, I mean, hopefully we'll. Hopefully by the time. So, in, so excuse me. So in case you have all heard, or now that 2025 is coming to an end. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. You might try to go to back. You might go back there sometime because yeah, I know it's your birthday weekend. So I might try to go there. And if not, we'll see when the time. If not, there's next time. But but hopefully, I mean, Norfolk Star might be running back. It's probably going to be running the trains. It's it's most likely it's going to be. Yeah, I met Eris before. Yeah, I met him before. Or when yeah, I met him there. I met him there. which I'm kind of. So, in case you have and hurt or in case you haven't heard, in case everybody who have or and now in case you haven't all heard, or hold on, or Union Pacific is planning, or that Union Pacific has actually um announced a few months back in October that they are. Hold on, let me. And that Union Pacific is planning to announce that they're doing, they may be doing a coast to coast tour next year for America's 250th birthday, and they are planning on, and they may be taking most likely they're undertaking involving the locomotive off home rails across the country, and particularly and potentially working with other railroads like Norfolk Southern for the east, most likely East Coast for the part of the journey. And since it's since it returned to service back in 2019, back in May of 2019. In, I mean, according to an article on Trains Magazine, because it's the CEO of Union Pacific announced that and that he wants to run the big wants to run across the country, and he had discussions with Norfolk Southern CEO with the CEO of Norfolk Southern, Mark about hosting it will be the Big Boy's first trip in the East since it rolled out of the Akron plant and it's connecting New York back in back I mean back in 1941. So as I was saying, I mean they're planning to work. I mean he had discuss. I mean, so I forgot to put that up there, but he had discussions with the with CEO of Norfolk Southern hosting the Big Boy's first trip to the East since it rolled out in 1941. But UP is still working, but they're working through the details of operating the 1.1 million 2-pound locomotive off home rails, including timing. I mean, up the trip, whatever, it would head west from its home base in Cheyenne, Wyoming, or base to Oakland, California, west, or steam fur, or so. So that's going to be, so that's going to probably if it goes by horseshoe, but or if it goes by horseshoe curve in Altoona, Pennsylvania, cool, but who know? But who knows? It may happen. It may happen, or maybe not. But hopefully, but it's a little complicated. But it, but the CEO of UP says it's a little complicated. But I think it'll be a great historical movement for America's 250th birthday to move that steam engine, and the biggest operating steam engine in the world across the country. And I think it'll be real cool. But but in the celebration of the U.S. bicentennial in 1976, Ross Rowan assembled the American Freedom Train, which barnstormed across the country behind steam from April 1st, 1975 through 1976. And the 26-car train was hauled by 3 different steam locomotives as it visited all 48 contiguous states, like in former Irent in 44-2101, S7 Pacific 4449, and Texas and Pacific 610. And so that's if that's what they're going to plan. So if that's what they're going to be planning to do sometime next year, hopefully, and hopefully we'll see when the time brings. But hopefully we'll see how much they would do, because we're going. Hopefully they'll probably, and of course Zoe you never heard about that before, but of course Zoe, you never heard that before. If you haven't read this, you might want to look that up. So Zoe, if you have not read that online, you'll probably have to look that up. You'll probably look that up and see what a Union Pacific might do. But from filing that application merger last week, after Union Pacific, that Union Pacific ended up filing. So, however, but last week Union Pacific ended up, and when the merger agreed back in late July, even earlier this year. But according to STB, yeah, I think some people said the merger is stupid, but yeah, some people said the merger is stupid, but the 7,000 from what the STB, but Safety Transportation Board, the Surface Transportation Board, is requesting approval to combine the 2 railroads into a merger agreement that happened back in July. But they said, I mean, it's a classic to end to end. I mean, the Northern Union Pacific merger is a classic end to end. But the combined railroad were more freight effectively eliminated 22,400 rail car container handlings and 60,000 car miles each day. But it's for benefits for America, benefits for customers, for safety, benefits for railroad employees, and the most thoroughly merged planned merger in railroad history. But they expect the Iron Company also expected $133 million in annual capital, which is by combining in the network and fleet more effectively. Both railroads will have, but the companies are expected to have the transaction completed by early 2027. But the companies are having, and they even had the rip. And when President Lincoln, but I but they have a ship, but the path complete. But the board of directors of both UP and NS have unanimously approved the transaction. Then shareholders voted to approve it. Then the companies filed their application with the STB last week, in which they had to describe how the combined network will preserve a safer, faster, and more reliable service and increase competition to avoid a merge of stakeholders. Then the companies are targeting on closing the transaction by early 2027. So, but the companies are actually having to close the transaction by early 2027. And that's kind of a big deal, but hopefully. But hopefully. But I just don't. But I just don't. I mean, I just absolutely don't know why. Yeah, Friday it is tomorrow, but Christmas is almost over. But yeah, I know. Yeah, and dude, you got a premiere at 7 tomorrow, at like 7 tomorrow or night. And so, in case you have, remember the last time I showed you this? I mean, this is what. Well, this is it. Well, this is it. And for you. Well, this is it for you. Well, Zoe, this is it for you. Oh yeah, it won't be freaking. Oh, if you have. Plus, I'm still. Well, at least people will get their minds straight. At least people would just get their own minds straight, and then from not even hitting a semi trailer, but not like this one, not like this one from back that I showed you a few months ago. And not like what I showed you a few months ago. Well, yeah, it looks stupid. Yeah, I mean, I tell you, it does look stupid. Well, actually, I wouldn't say it like looks stupid. It just hit it just hit a trailer or full of tomato. It just collided with a trailer carrying tomatoes. It just carried it. It was just it just hit a truck full of tomato. It just like hit a tractor trailer full of tomatoes. No, well, it's not. Which I think I could see on the steps, but not a. Which I think so, but they could have just taken the remain. However, they could have just took the remains of the trailer off of the front, and then and they could probably just took the lead unit off, and then just had the other unit running, but that'll take hours to get that. But not. But instead, or be or just be involved up somewhere else, like, or just get involved in it, and like, as in case you have, or just be beat it up like this, which you can find, which you probably know. Well, yeah, the third, yeah, that one is trash. Well, at least farmers would, at least some farmers would just be stupid. At least some, at least sometimes people would just be so stupid in once. But even this, at least you can get, but at least you could get, well, at least you possibly, well, at least people would just be been so stupid once in a while. But I would say if I'm hitting a double trailer full of cement, they could have just cleaned. They could have just cleaned. I tell you, they could have just cleaned in the cement, the remains of the cement off the stairs and on the but not on the, but the plow where we could use a bit of a tune up, and they probably could have got a rescue unit to get that out. But hopefully, I'm assuming, I couldn't tell if they had just kept it on there, or if they could have just kept. I'm not sure if they kept it on there along the way, or what. So that's kind of a bad idea. But yeah, I just don't. But hopefully, but or it, or if CSX actually had the same thing, they would actually, or if CSX would just got involved of a derailment like this, you probably would want to end up being taken to the shop. You might want to be. You might want to just be taken to the shop. But I'll tell you what number that was. Yeah, CS6 3021, which is actually true. It was deep. It was built back in 2015, back in 2015, and it was wrecked in New Kent County, Virginia, a few 2 months ago. And it will presume likely be scrapped. And it will presume likely be scrapped. And it will most likely presume. And it'll most likely presumably be scrapped on site, which I don't know if it will or not, but that was the last shot. But this was last seen 2 months, like 3 months ago, like 3 or 4 months ago in Fostoria, Ohio. And someone said, last shot before wreck, 3020, 3201, 363 are on the ground on the XCNO in New Kent County, Virginia, and will most likely be scrapped. So that's that's really such an imbecile. And that's really that's just really an imbecile for being stupid. Oh, and yeah, another unit, 363, was also involved and will be scrapped as well. That's and along the same thing, and with 53 empty coal, with 53 loaded coal hoppers that are full of coal had derailed. And so that's obviously. So yeah, that's what I've got. Yep. Yeah, popping pimples. but hopefully he will see what New Jersey Transit. But hopefully we'll see what New Jersey Transit is going to be doing for next year. But hopefully we'll see. Hopefully we'll see what New Jersey Transit will be. hopefully we'll see what 2026 is going to bring, but don't know what I don't know what's going to happen, but as we're like a little over halfway of the decade, but with the Amtrak plan and to roll out a different type, but hopefully. So yep. Oh, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I know you're still here. Also, in case you have not heard, or the that the Ennis Junior shops in Altoona, PA had repainted 2 of their SD70 Aces. This is for office car special service. Back then after or what? Hopefully they still have not got a photo for the NS1231 for NS1231. But hopefully, at least sooner than later. I don't know what I got for Christmas. Probably just a couple things I got, but from Santa. But hopefully, and nothing too special, nothing too crazy. But hopefully, we'll see. Hopefully, what. But hopefully, we'll see. But might probably just a couple things I got. Hopefully. But hopefully when the time. Nice. So I tell you this, I'm surprised NJT 42 was running solo, ran the CSAO Santa train at Bamberg solo this year, or since NS 98 couldn't do it, and it couldn't do it this year. And since so it was kind of nice for NJT 4208 to fill in, to take its spot. So hopefully next year NS 98 might do it again, and I may do it next year. Hopefully, if not, New Jersey Transit NJT not 4208 might do it, or if not, maybe CSX 1976 will probably do it. Hopefully. Yes, I mean, in the last 2 times I've seen it, one back in 2023 on his inaugural run, on his first inaugural run, and through Bamberg, and then the second time in last year was 8098 and 4208. So, but this year NS 4208 was running solo again. Was running solo for the first time. but I'm just kind of surprised NS 8098 it didn't do it. Didn't do it since it was out since it was out working on BNSF and UP territory for a bit. So, but it's probably headed back now. It might be back to Norfolk Southern already, but hopefully, we'll see. Hopefully, it may come by sooner than later. NS8098 may come by sometime sooner than later. Just not sure when yet. I'm just not too sure when yet, but yeah, I'm surprised you caught 23 trains on Saturday before I came up. I was way before I came up, but too bad I missed nickel play in 4000, but I missed 4000 on 269 and nickel play on 28X since I couldn't. But I had to because I just wanted to wait for the CSA, wait for the Santa train, but yeah, you did caught both of them before which I really didn't care. Yeah, I'm surprised you caught 4000 and 8100 on that, which I'm kind of surprised. But I missed the Center of Georgia Heritage Union on 268 and 269 twice though because I couldn't go off for it because of the snow. So hopefully we'll see when it comes back sometime sooner than later. Just hopefully the gods see when. But I'm assuming he and NS44 have been paired up for a while, but don't know if they're still together. They probably got separated already, but hopefully we'll see when. But I think it was like the last it came in, but I'm assuming it probably left on and it got up 276, and then I think it got pulled off of NS40. Everything got put on the NS41N. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it was reported 2 days ago in New Berlin, Illinois on NS41N heading west. And it Yeah, it was reported 2 days ago, or on the day before Christmas Eve on NS41N, and then and before that it got pulled off of it. It got pulled off of NS276 from NS276. It even came by on NS269, and then left on 268 and twice. So that's just kind of a big pain in the butt. So yeah, you were out there for like what? In 14 hours. That was a long time you were out there. But I mean, I never seen you. I'd never been out that late before. But I bet you were freezing in the morning. I bet you were like freezing really early that morning. In the morning. But hopefully, hopefully, hopefully we'll see what a 2026 is going to bring. Hopefully, let's see what 2026 is gonna do next year, since for America's 250th birthday is next year. So let's see what that will bring. Hopefully. So yeah. So yeah, that's all I got to think of. I think I'm so that's all I got to think of. So anyway, I'm gonna hit the hit. I'm gonna hit the road. I'm gonna hit the hit. I'm gonna actually end up hitting the hay, hit the road, and call it a night. And so I'm gonna probably end up calling it a night. So hope everyone has a great night, and have a great Merry Christmas to everybody. And I'll see you all next time. Have a good night, everybody, and have a good night, everybody, and have a great Merry Christmas. See you. So yeah, that's all I gotta think of. So anyway, I want to wish you all a good night. Have a great night. And a Merry Christmas to you all. And I'll see you all next time. Have a good night, everybody.